All right. Hello, everybody, and this is Everything Horror Podcast. This is the season premiere of season two with your favorite host, Paul Doski, and co-host.
Tessa Baker.
And we have very special, awesome people today, and especially the voices inside each and one of our heads, or if not all of them. Anyway, Tessa, would you like to say who we're interviewing today?
Um, we are entering Dan.
Is it Coughlin?
Is it Coughlin?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
Coughlin, New York Giants.
All right, because just a quick question: are you guys brothers? As out of curiosity.
Because we noticed your guys' last names are the same.
Well, we met
I
on
identify
Facebook, and I was
as
like,
Ryan's
your
sister.
last name is so cool that I want to be your friend.
All right.
So it's a
7 or 8
coincidence.
posts, then we realized that we were actually blood brothers.
That's awesome.
That is amazing.
All right. So anyway, Tessa, please introduce who we have.
We have Dan and Ryan Coughlin, who are our writers from
Ditch Day.
Ditch Day, the movie.
I don't know if it's Ditch Day or Ditch Day Massacre
And
because I've seen it written both ways.
And we also have Megan Waters, the producer, with us as well. So welcome, you guys.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
You are
Thank you
very
very much for having
welcome.
us.
Oh, you are very welcome, and I'm so glad that we can actually finally do this after all the postpones that we had to do. But family comes first, in my opinion. So,
Very, very cool.
yeah, and I just hope things have gotten a little bit better. Not like it's my business, but I just wanted to throw it out there that I hope everything is
Working out for the
working
best.
out better. But yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, you're very
Oh,
welcome.
you're very welcome.
So the first question we got, I had to ask you guys was, what was the budget of the film that you guys were allowed to work with to make the film?
$700 million.
All right. All right.
I'll field that question.
That's a mega question.
So it's a passion project. It started as a passion project and it continued to be one. So we were working with really, really limited funds. But what we did have is a big wealth of hearts that were really into the film, into the script, and the project. And so we're probably the definition of micro budget, and that's what we'll go with.
Fair enough.
Sold like a producer.
Well,
sold it well.
Megan.
The picture had so much given to it in terms of resources, locations, effects, time. It was. I say it's priceless. That's the budget. It was priceless.
All righty. Well, that always works too.
Yeah.
It's worth its weight in blood.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Perfect response.
That is awesome.
Okay. One of my questions is, how did you guys come up with the concepts for this movie?
Take that.
Dan, do you want to take that? Well, this is Ryan. Yeah, go, Dan.
Oh, hi, this is Dan. And Ryan we're actually the voices in each other's heads. And we have the same mother, and we hate the same father. But, kidding, Dad. No, we we kind of just grew up in the video store, the mom and pop video store days. We're from a very small town in Wisconsin. We really liked all the old school horror movies, like the Dario Argento stuff. And then we wanted to write a movie in the vein of like the Roger Corman, the Massacre series that he had, like Slumber Party Massacre and Sorority House Massacre and its sequels. So it's in tribute to that, but we have our own little style and our own little quirks, so we wanted to put that into our movie. And Megan is a very cool producer in that her passion and her creativity is in business, and she's very good at it. So she's the kind of person that works well with artists. We had known each other from another TV series that she worked on as a producer, and I worked as a camera operator. And then when Ryan and I finished the script, we got it to her, and we pooled our resources, And Ditch is what you got, and we're all very proud of it. And I think it struck the chord of the Roger Corman crowd, which makes Ryan and I very, very happy.
Yeah, and we kind of want to set out to do a little, pay tribute to that brand of horror, add a good product that might and spin it into a little bit more of the thinking gore and insert some real life into a monster in the house movie format. This is what came out.
Very cool. Very cool. So we're gonna take a pause on the question for a minute to let you guys introduce yourself for people who possibly don't know who you guys are. But Dan, if you would like to go first, just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, so that way people listening can have a better understanding of you and the voices in your head.
Yes, I don't know that they want a better understanding, but damn it, I'm going to give it to them.
All right.
No, my name is Daniel P. Coughlin. I've always been into this stuff. Mom stuck me in therapy at a young age, and I love dark stories. I swear to God, I'm not a fruitcake that you know of. And but
well,
no,
you must like scary stories to tell in the dark, then, right?
I do.
All right.
To me, the voices in my head and anybody else that will listen. But yeah, I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin. I've been writing since a very young age, all horror. I escaped that small town by joining the Marines in 1997. After that, I stayed in California because it's awesome, and if you want to get into the horror movie business, you stay in California, or your odds are better if you stay there. So I went to Cal State Long Beach, and I graduated. While there, I interned for Wes Craven, which was awesome to get to know that guy because he's one of my favorite directors. Yes, that sucked so bad.
Yes, it does.
But yes, he was an awesome dude. Made amazing horror movies. The guy was a genius. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about him. He was pretty cool. But yeah, he inspired me. I was like an intern on the Hills Have Eyes remake. So I got to sit in Wes's office and like read all these great horror scripts that he had laying around and stuff, and that kind of helped me develop along with school a script which I wrote called Lake Dead. So then I sold that, and I got a 3-picture deal out of that one with Alliance Group Entertainment, and then they also produced Farmhouse. And they bought Lake Dead too, but that is on a shelf, and I don't believe it will ever get made. And then in addition to that, I wrote 6 novels that are available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or whatever. And I have a brother who is also a partner in crime and a lover of horror. He's on the other line. His name's Ryan. And I'm here for you. I love you, man. But yes, and then along this journey, I've worked with Megan for like 12 years too. Longer than that, probably 15. But that's cool. It in a nutshell.
Ryan, do you want to go?
Sure, I'll make my nutshell smaller.
Fair enough.
I grew up in the same bedroom as Dan, and we were always extremely tight. And it was funny because we would go in our own little space, our own little world, to do our own writing, and we never even talked about what we were doing. So it was years later when we both found out that we were both writing our own little crazy stories. And and I'm kind of a journeyman when it comes to genre, but I deeply love horror, and it's a fun space, and I'll hopefully swim in it for as long as I'm swimming. I actually stayed in Wisconsin for college, and I went to school for finance, economics, and film because the goal was always to get out to LA and participate in the movie industry because I love it. There's just no better mix of science and art in the world. I try to participate in a few different ways, and writing has always been a constant but I have that kind of right-left brain thing going, which is a curse. So I'm interested in the business side as well. That's where the finance and economic side kind of lend itself, because it is a business and it's good to understand that side. But also love the acting side, not as a lifelong devotion. I'm not as noble as the real actors that get out there and do it, but I have a lot of fun on the other side of the screen. You may recognize me from the award-winning picture Lake Dead as the guy in the orange sweatshirt at the very end that says, "This place is fucking awesome." Who goes into the motel and has his head chopped off. You don't see that, but that's me. I now live in San Diego with my wife and two little boys.
Congratulations.
Love movies, love writing. I do have a couple of novels, one that's published, one that's going to be published this year, and just keep cranking. That's me in a nutshell.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a longer nutshell than mine, and you said it was going to be shorter.
No, mine was short. I have a smaller nut than you, Dan.
Wow.
I don't know if that's a good one or not. Mine hangs lower, though.
It's more compact.
And on that note, Megan, tell us who you are.
Yes. So I'm Megan Waters. I hail from the Great White North of Canada, and I did a 4-year degree in radio and television arts at Ryerson University. A shout out to my Rye High fans and fellows. And I got the opportunity to move south in 2005 to sunny California, producing car shows for a production company, and it was owned by Dan Woods, he was a lead actor on the Grassy Junior High, which was like a big show in Canada when I was growing up. So it was kind of cool. And I was with the production, and that's where I met Dan, and we just kind of hit it off. And I've always loved production. I like to be behind the camera, and I have just an extreme passion for creating and telling a story. And Dan and I, for many years, he would say, "Hey, you got to produce something of mine. You got to produce something of mine." And I was like, I don't know. I'm doing this reality thing, and he handed me Ditch to read when it was done. I said, "Okay, fine, I'll read it." And I read it, and I literally had one of those moments of, oh my God, inside a Starbucks. Like, I just kind of shouted out, and people looked at me like I was crazy, and I'm like, okay, I got to make this. So that
you were like Meg Ryan.
So yeah, and it's been a fun journey, a long ride, but a fun journey, and learned so much. And I, just happy, my heart and my soul is in creating.
In your pocketbook.
Fun, yeah, I have my pocketbook. Everything's tied to production and creating something. And I live in Long Beach, California, with my awesome boyfriend, and part-time we have his son, and I love to salsa dance, and I am a pinball player, so I love pinball. So there's some fun facts about me.
And that's always awesome. Oh, right.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, boy.
Yes. I won't sing for you, don't worry.
Oh, I bet you did. I bet you sing great anyway, so it's all good.
Not even in the shower, no.
At least she's honest about it.
Yeah.
Well,
strengths, know your weaknesses. Really good self-grounding knowledge.
Well, as long as there's alcohol, we sing awesome every time. So
yes.
Yeah. So I don't care.
Yeah.
So the next question is how were you guys able to cast Bill Oberst Jr. for Vic?
Yeah, I'll take that question. So this project, there was, I don't know, I think the universe was behind us in getting it made. And so there were so many collaborations, and one of those was through our director, Joe Hendricks. Excuse me. He had done a short film with Bill, shot him the script, and said, "What do you think?" And we chatted with Bill. He understood the vision of what we were trying to do and loved the character of Vic. And after many rounds of negotiations with his management team, he was able to join us on the picture, and we had a really, really narrow window. So we had like a total of 17 days that he had a gap between two productions that he was already committed to, but he really felt strongly about the picture and wanted to do it. So that's how that one came to be. But we had, I mean, so many people helped bring talent to the table. It was really a collaboration on everyone's part, and being, making that come together.
That guy is freaking awesome too, and he's been in like every B horror movie, and he does a lot of A-list stuff too. But he's like a modern day Boris Karloff, I think.
Yeah, we were really fortunate to work with him, and he's such a. Even now, and I've seen the film probably, I don't know, a good 1,000 times, he has scenes where it still gives me, like, the hair stand up on the back of my neck, and his looks and his stares and his approach to things. I'm just like, you give me the heebie-jeebies.
He's a very intense dude, yes.
Yeah, but he's as talented as he is professional.
Well,
that is a very true point.
Yeah. He actually
But
followed.
that guy is super busy.
Oh, yeah, he is. He does seem like he's busy. He actually followed us on Twitter, and I actually messaged him one day, and I was just like, hey, I'm Paul from Everything Horror Podcast. I'm actually supposed to be interviewing Dan and Megan, and this is before you got included, Ryan, but as far as I knew anyway. I was just like, hey, I don't know if you have free time. Maybe you could join our little conversation. And he unfortunately got back to me like a week or so later, and he was just like, yeah, sorry, I was busy filming a movie overseas. And he was just like, I'm trying to remember exactly how he worded it, but he goes, he said something along the lines of like he loved holding the axe and swinging that bloody axe, that he pretty much put it. And I'm just like, okay. Yeah, so he had a good time.
He did a number on the house for that thing.
Oh, I bet. Oh, I bet.
A lot of damage. I think there was 4 doors we had to replace afterwards.
Oh,
yeah.
Good job.
At a door
got
frame.
into character. Yeah.
Well, whatever
Actually,
fit the character.
Yeah. Well, I talked to him kind of after when we're going through different cuts, and we got into doing some of the posts on the film, and doing our AR lines, our wild lines, and so forth. And he shared with me. He said, it took me a while to come out of that character. That was a deep, dark place. And I'm like, I believe it. Just looking at some of the performances he gave us, and so and some of he had different takes and different scenes, and yeah, he could. I totally believe that it took him a moment to come back out of that character and put him down, because Vic was a tortured soul, that's for sure.
Agreed, and we'll get a little bit more into his character questions later on, which we will do like a warning spoiler or before then. But yeah, we were just kind of curious because I've actually seen Bill in 2 other films, which was A Haunting in Salem and Scream at the Devil was the other 2 that I've seen him in, and he does really good acting job. So
check out Nuns with Guns and Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies. He's fun in those 2.
Okay.
He was on Scream Queens this year too. He was kind of funny and creepy in that.
I'll have to check that out.
I just did one episode, but
I think he did on
CSI as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Yeah, no, he does a lot of live stage performance too. I mean, Bill's really talented.
That's awesome.
He literally memorized a 50-page Ray Bradbury story that he then performed live at this theater in Los Angeles. I went and saw it. It was pretty crazy.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I don't remember my own name half the time. But yeah, he's good like that.
Oh
Dan,
boy.
I told you to write it in your hand.
I did.
Okay.
I remember that.
Next question I want to ask is, how did it feel to win the award for the Best Horror Feature Film at Burbank International Film Festival?
What was more important was that Louis Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk, gave us a standing ovation.
I remember. Yeah, that's right. Oh,
That's great.
He
That's
did.
fantastic.
That's amazing.
That was freaking awesome.
I bet that made your guys' day right there.
Or night.
Or night, yeah.
Made our year.
That worked too.
So awesome. Yeah, they sat us somewhat near to the Baldwin table as well, minus Alex.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
That was fun.
It was fun to get dressed up, and we took a limo up to the event up in I think it was Burbank. Yeah, it was Burbank. Which a funny story enough, at the award ceremony for the festival, the limo died like 50 feet from the red carpet. So we all had to get out of the limo and like walk up the hill.
That's the metaphor for the picture.
It was, it's been an uphill, we're going to do this. I always say it's been our Goonie moment. Like, it's been a ride and a half. This is our time.
The drunken Goonies.
Yeah, we're the drunken Goonies, and it was.
By the way, Goonies is amazing.
Yes. So we don't give up, and so when this limo broke down, we all just got out, took some photos because it was funny, and then rolled into the event. And we were, award shows are very very long, and so we had a nice dinner, we chatted with people, and I think we rolled in there with the expectation that, hey, how cool is it that we were here? That was just kind of the wow factor for myself, and it was just a lot of fun. And so when they announced it, I was like, what? And it was a really, 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 to have your industry say you've done a good job, and to have the fans saying the same thing, it's so humbling. It's so lovely. It's as creative people, we kind of put our heart and soul into this, and so you put it out there, and you're I'm always on pins and needles after every review because I'm like, oh god, it's nerve wracking. So to have that recognition is it's just a really really lovely feeling, and we're just so proud of our little gem, and the fact that we have honored the horror community, I hope, and they respected the fans and respected the genre and given them something to enjoy. That was our goal. So when we feel we've met that goal, so the accolades that come with it is just such a wonderful moment, and we're so thankful that the fans and our community like it.
That was an elegant answer. I would go with it was just fucking awesome. It was like making love to just a beautiful, beautiful corpse.
Jeez,
I don't know. As we're talking about beautiful corpses, I would rather go with like the Wake Dead beautiful corpses. I mean but that's another time. But that's
another episode.
That's another episode.
Yeah. Which I'm just gonna throw it out there, but Dan and Ryan, if I were to send my copy of Wake Dead to you guys, would you guys sign it?
In blood. I will literally.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
Sign it in my blood.
All right, you can sign it in your blood if you want. I'll make sure of that.
No, I would be honored. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. After this episode, we can talk a little bit more of that.
Yeah, you just made Paul's day.
Yeah,
I don't know if you realize that.
I won't lie.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Oh, well, I actually enjoyed all the 8 films to Die For as a whole, even though there were quite a few that kind of were not so great in my own opinion, but maybe that's because I'm too picky too, especially since here's a little fun fact about me. I'm actually going to be 30 this year on October 13th, which is actually Friday the 13th. So there's a little fun fact.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
party it up.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have a ditch party.
Hell yeah. Why not?
We actually want to go to Salem, Massachusetts for his 30th birthday.
Nice.
They just opened up the headquarters for the Church of Satan in Salem, Massachusetts.
I just heard about
People
that
are
too.
very upset.
Right next to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. Well, good place for it then. Why not? Get the little kids involved then. I don't know.
That would be totally awesome.
Start them young.
Starting young. All right. So the next question is, how did Mrs. Donatucci, I think is how you pronounce her last
Mrs.
name?
Donatucci.
Yeah. Uh,
Yamatuchi.
yeah, Donatucci. A lonely widow come into writing for Ditch Day, especially when she seemed to be somebody who is trying to find somebody because she lost her husband, but yet she becomes one of the victims. So how did that kind of
Yeah,
turn out
well,
to
we
be?
just, in a structural sense, she is what we call a reflection character that just, she runs into, she kind of gives us insight to the neighborhood, sets up a character, and which was played by the awesome Lynn Lowry. I don't know if you remember her from like the original Day of the Dead and
Yep.
the Crazies, and
I love
think
the
she was on the
Crazies.
Love Boat. Yes, the OG.
And-
She was a George Romero person back in the
okay.
day. But yeah, she set up a lot of things, and it's a horror movie, so she also provided us with a fun kill.
Very nice.
And we thought that scene would be fun and kind of creepy too, and just kind of set the tone. And that's just kind of what I thought about it. Plus, I thought it played into the whole the feel of something that would be reflective of the 1980s slasher movement.
Very cool.
I guess that would be my answer.
All right. Well, then we'll kind of kick it into the next gear, which is pretty much around the same question. But how did like the teenagers, the rest of the characters?
The inspiration for the teenagers in your writing.
They're all the voices in our heads.
Tap into our own.
Pretty
usage.
self-explanatory.
So
See how you really identify with Max.
Yeah, they're all reflection characters, and they were fun, and we needed to get some teenagers into a house, but you don't just want to bring in some bland characters, so you give them all a personality. So there's the goth chick, the jock, the drunk, the slut, and but you want to make them a little more rounded and less two-dimensional, and all the actors did a pretty good job. And it was fun, and I think that they really brought out the essence of their character, and then that essence was spilled from their stomachs and throats and severed heads later on in the movie, which was just pretty goddamn fun.
Yeah. By the way, that goth chick. Wow.
Pandy Suicide.
Wow.
Pandy Suicide.
I was just like, holy cow! I was like, this chick is just.
She's a handsome woman.
She doesn't go
She she definitely wafted the dominatrix essence in my personal opinion.
yeah, I can.
Yeah,
definitely.
Google her. You'll find some fun pictures of her too.
Oh, geez.
Some wonderful texture.
Some wonderful texture.
Oh,
I can
boy.
imagine.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Texture is a good word.
And that's right. You just heard this first on this podcast. That's right. So go check it out. Apparently for some nice texture photos. So this is your question. We noticed that
Vic,
Vic.
he after he like kills everybody off like one by one or whatever, or the two at a time or whatever, he folds their
Belongings.
clothes, their belongings and stuff, like folds it neatly and puts it like on top of them, like takes folds up the pillowcase and puts it over her head, and then folds up the clothes neatly and puts it on top of the bodies in the closet.
Or like the scene with the goth girl with her hand. He neatly put the hand
And her stockings.
Yeah.
and the
yeah,
dildo.
Yep.
Yeah, so what's that about, guys? Just the symbolism for that.
Well, he's just a symmetric person. He's a tormented soul, and I think he's tormented with everything that he does, and so he still has that aspect of humanity during all this, because he's basically getting a job done and make her father pay.
Hello?
Hello?
You guys there?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Dan,
sorry.
you broke
we
up a little
yeah,
bit.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I was just he's a tormented soul. He's got a job to do, and there's still an aspect of humanity that's left to him. And so when he's done killing this collateral damage, he's got a little respect for them. So he folds them and neatly places them or kisses them.
Yeah, we noticed that as well.
A very quirky glimmer of the humanity that is left inside of him.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He's also, I mean,
he looks great naked.
Yeah, like the shower scene with the buckets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baptizing himself.
Father.
Buckets of balls.
Buckets of balls, yeah. He's a father in mourning, so I think he's still
cleansing himself.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
You can say this.
You want me to say this one? Yeah. Yep. Okay, we noticed that Trina spits up like this lime green stuff when she's killed, and Max spits up like this foamy orange stuff.
We're trying to figure out what that was supposed to be. If it was like an effect from like the alcohol or drugs or like, cause that was kind of just interesting.
Because they both like spit up like different colored things when they died.
I'm way to lie to you right now.
We'll take careful thought in it.
Yeah, I honestly, Josh and Sierra Russell did an amazing job, and I think Joe, the director, and Josh and Sierra got together, and they just wanted to, we had a low budget, so we were having fun with it, and I don't know, colors are fun.
Yeah, and when people die, we raise this question in the viewer's head of, what the hell did they eat?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they were going for.
Yeah, because we were definitely trying to figure that out.
And we think Trina's dad was a gremlin. It may have been Stripe. That's what we're hoping.
Also a fantastic movie.
No fucking idea.
Don't feed the gremlin after midnight.
That's right.
All right. The next question is Officer Mann. Or I'm assuming he was in the military, and the question is pretty much was he in the military, and is that why he was really hard on Wayman, the Dr. Wayman, I'm assuming?
Detective Wayman.
Or Detective Wayman.
Yeah, the lady.
Yeah, the lady that was taking the
cop.
phone calls. And was that because the way he was treating her?
Or was it because she was snooping too far into the case and he didn't like it?
Snooping around for the case? Is that why? Because it seemed like every time you mentioned about the case, it was like man was just like, shh, like hush your mouth kind of thing, like get back to calling.
Yeah, he was a complex. First of all, yeah, he is. He's a jarhead like myself. He was in the Marines, and then I'm pretty sure. In fact, I know that he was a WWF wrestler guy in the '80s too. But he wanted. He was like, yeah, let's get nuts. And I remember he called Megan and Joe and I, and he was just like, do you mind if I make this character a closeted homosexual? And so he's hating on women, but he's also trying to hide this secret as well. So yeah, he's a sexy, closeted homosexual.
Babe, breathe. Breathe.
School.
I think Paul's dying over here. He's trying not to laugh.
Yeah, no, he would call me and he would say some just, he's great. He was great in Glee as a drill instructor too. But
cool.
And he's like the star of a couple of the Puppet Master movies. But
that's where I've seen him.
And,
yeah.
Yeah, he's on a Carl's Jr. commercial right now too. He's got this weird looking mustache, but no, he's got a great sense of humor about him too. And yeah. I say all this now because he's also like 6'5" and weighs 250 pounds, and he'll kill me. But yeah, no, fun guy, off the charts fun with the horror characters. So there's a number of different layers that definitely came out, and I think as a fact he just kind of took that character and he stood out with it too, which was fun for this kind of a movie.
Very cool.
If that answers your question.
Yeah, that does. That does.
Okay, beware.
The best kill scene too.
Okay, beware, listeners. Spoiler alerts.
from this moment on, if
This
you
is
do not want
spoiler
to
alert.
listen anymore, we understand because we're probably going to go into the ending just a little bit, but we're not going to spoil the ending.
We're definitely going to talk about our favorite kill scene.
Well,
yes.
yeah.
Oh yes. We are going to go there.
So yeah, this is a warning.
So what inspired Officer Man's death scene, which is also my favorite death?
Megan, that was a nightmare, wasn't it?
Oh God.
Yeah, I'll take that question. So
Fair enough.
if we in any of the kills,
I'm not wearing pants.
We wanted to. There's a real problem with keeping pants on the set. No, in any of the kill scenes, we really wanted to make them complex. We wanted to make them real mechanical effects. We didn't want to go into CGI. And when Dan and Ryan wrote the scene, Officer Man gets tortured, and it was supposed to end at the weed whacker, and the weed whacker was supposed to take him out. And when we got to the scene, it was super late. It was the last shot of the day. We were beyond the filming permit time, like super intense, and the weed whacker just wouldn't cut into Officer Man's dummy stomach. Like it just
plus
was like,
the blade, it didn't show up on the film either.
Yeah, and it wasn't working, and so it was kind of this great acid moment where one of the actors who plays the Principal Gallman, Ronald Burkhart, he says, "We need a chainsaw. Let's just go get a chainsaw. That's not going to work. It's not working." And so we literally he went to the local hardware rental place and rented a chainsaw. We had it on standby, so when we shot the scene and it wasn't working, we they came up with Bill came up with his great extra lines of, that's just a little foreplay, and
which was a great line for this scene, by the way.
Oh, it totally worked. And then it all just kind of transpired, and the everyone who wasn't in the garage but like watching the monitor outside, we were dead silent. We were holding our breath. We were like, please make this work. Like, let it be, because we were so under the gun. And when that chainsaw struck and we saw the footage, we just were like cheering, because it came to life. Like, this is what we were going for. This was, Josh and Sierra Russell's, like, this was their biggest, most complex scene next to one other scene. And, they had put their heart and soul into all the effects. And this one, we were just like, this has got to be this was going to be a calling piece for them. And so it came to be, but it was really intense. And it was a moment of like, oh my God, if we don't get this, we're screwed. So it was really, they always say, what is it? Necessity is, the mother of invention. And so by necessity, that chainsaw came into the picture and got thrown into the script. And it's my favorite kill scene as well, to be honest. So.
Very cool.
Interesting choice of power tools, by the way. Chainsaw and a weed whacker.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other thing, Megan? We tried to buy something else before the chainsaw that didn't work either. What the hell do you call that thing? A hedge clippers.
Oh, that yeah.
Remember we had to return that?
Like that would have been.
No, it was like it was chainsaw-ish, but it
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's used to trim hedges. Yeah, but it's like a chainsaw.
Failed on that one.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But all I gotta say is thank you, Ronald Burkhart, for the run to say, look, we need a chainsaw, and we're like, okay, So it was cool. But that was just how in sync everybody was to make this film happen. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
That is cool.
We also, I think we broke the chain because then the tie got tied up in it. So I think there was a repair bill on that too. So I wasn't there when we returned the power tool, but I'm sure there were some strange looks, because if they're looking at it, they're like, what is going on with this tool? Why is there blood on it? Why does it smell weird like pig death? But
oh yeah. Oh,
yes,
those guys that claim to clean the carpet
wasn't real.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
That does sound like fun. The next question we have.
It was.
Oh yeah, as long as it worked. I mean, it worked good. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
It was sensual.
Yes.
Yeah.
another thing we noticed too is when back, like we're gonna go back a little bit, but when Vic is chasing Jenny and Mike upstairs, right when they get into the room, and Vic,
Jenny's bedroom, yeah.
yeah, and Vic is about to like, I'm assuming like axe Jenny. You hear Mike shout no, and then Vic kind of stopped and like looked at Mike like confused, like what? And then Jenny gets escaped, and then he kind of looks at him, which at this point in time we don't really know what's going on, so he just kind of leaves Mike alone and goes after Jenny. But like, is there a reason why Mike said no to Vic to make him kind of look confused?
Like why he chose to say no to him instead of
Yeah, like,
letting him kill Jenny.
Well, that I would ask Megan if if that's something we're allowed to talk about.
uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I mean, this is
Spoiler
definitely
alert.
this is a spoiler alert for anyone who
I don't know.
doesn't, want to, in this, the plot has a very poignant twist, and I think, it's, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. We wanted to layer it in
That was
enough.
a setup for it.
It was a setup that people wouldn't feel like, what are you doing? You just kind of, flipped it on us. So Dan and Ryan were really strategic in putting in little things that if you
Structural
worked
details.
backwards,
Okay.
then it would make sense. But you just didn't catch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
One of
Okay.
those things that sticks out in the back of your mind that you recall later, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the only thing.
Structural build-up.
Right. Well, the reason why I just noticed that is because like he killed off everybody else at the time, and then you just see him kind of like leave Mike alone at first. So instead of killing him right then and there, which I think would have been a cool idea if you kind of made it look like he killed him before like he chased it, before he like turned around and chased her off. So that way maybe you would have the viewer like think, okay, Mike is dead because he just happened to save Jenny, and now she's done for because there's nobody to protect her. But yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying too about if you might not want to say it too, because yeah, it is that twist in the story too, which in the garage scene.
Plot twist.
Yeah. Which is right next, that's the scene literally right after that, pretty much. So
Agreed. But
it kind of,
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely.
It was a jab before the uppercut.
Yeah, exactly. I'll let you take this one.
Besides the band Swirl, did anyone else compose the other music in the that was in the flashbacks?
Yes.
We a smile on my heart.
Sorry, you're breaking up, Dan.
Oh, my bad. I'm going to stop talking. You go ahead.
We had a lot of music contributors. We had, so the flashback scene music, that was from our composer, Giovanna Ostinelli. He, phenomenal guy to work with, and he really, sometimes scenes can be overly done with music, and he was very cautious and very, music was in when it was needed, and silence was part of this film, and so it had a really good balance. And then we also had a lot of, fun fact, Josh Russell has his own band, and so the opening scene when Jenny's looking in the mirror, that's actually his song. So, we're really, it's called Swiftly, so that was written and performed by Josh Russell. And then we also had, the Meaning of Life song where Vic is in the car just kind of driving to his lair with the parents. That was The Meaning of Life, and that was written by Michael P. Hogan, so from the band Streamline. And, of course, Swirl, they were awesome in giving us such powerful, more of the heavier side of the soundtrack, and with their Rise Up and their We Are Alive and Spell. And we actually had a really fun, the opening scene music, I Quit the Drugs My Parents Gave Me, which is when we're all in the party scene. Isn't that a great,
that is so great. I will agree.
when I got to connect with Joey Welch and hear, which came via actually Ron Burkhart's wife. This was a friend of hers she knew from college back in Indiana, and she's like, I'm like, I don't have the right music for this to open the picture with. Like I was really struggling, and we're listening to different artists, and she's like, you should talk to my friend Joey. And I'm like, okay. So I listened to some of the music he written, and when I heard that song and that hit, I quit, it just totally, I was like, this is perfect, because it's such an ironic song that I quit the drugs my parents gave me. It was just kind of like trying to set up the tone for what
to
we
come.
had for what's to come. And then our Spin the Bottle song, which is also a favorite song of mine, Loaded Life, which is also in the credits, that came from the band Temper Temper, and we're really thankful that Jordan from Revolution Records allowed us to use it. So, we were really, really blessed. I think that's one of the hardest things in making film, especially on no budget, is to have a great soundtrack and have a great vibe with the music. And again, all these artists trusted us with their music and trusted us that we were gonna get this done. And it's been people react to the music. People love the music. I mean, I think Swirl's about to go on tour because of people are really connecting with the music in the film, and they've been interviewed a whole bunch, and just really, really been able to connect with their audience as well. So it's been cool. We're really, really lucky for all the music that we had that came to the picture.
Very nice. Yeah, I do agree that music takes a very important role when it comes to films, because it helps drag the person in, but it also either makes it creepy, party, whatever's going on with the music, what it's supposed to represent. I think it's a very important role. We did an episode about The Witch by Robert Eggers, and one thing I mentioned is the music, where Robert Eggers put the music for that specific scene just helped draw you in and makes it more disturbing depending on what the scene was. So, I mean, I'm a big music
guy. Was that
guy.
a fun movie?
Oh, I love that movie.
It was great.
I loved
it. It was creepy. It was I haven't seen anything. It was different. It was like very cute, Stanley Kubrick-esque.
I agree. What if I told you Robert Eggers is working on remaking Nosferatu?
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That'd be huge.
Yeah.
He's got that feel for it. That would be an awesome pick.
Yep. That was his next project idea, was to work on Nosferatu, which I'm wondering.
Bitchin'.
Yeah. So I heard that, and I just hope that he can pull it off, since that's one of my favorite black and white silent movies. So.
Oh, that's classic horror right there.
Damn right.
That's some shoes to fill, but I think he's a very competent director. He could definitely pull that off.
I agree. I completely agree. So
I love how The Witch ended.
Oh yeah, me too.
I wanted to ask something really quick, because I noticed throughout the movie Vickers' character is eating apples. Is that in significance to the day that his family got into the car accident? Did they go apple picking or something that day, or what's the significance of the apples?
Everybody asks that.
That was a Bill thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Worked. I thought it was cool, but yeah,
he was going biblical.
Yeah.
There was. I mean, people have said, is it a biblical
guy.
thing? The Adam and Eve, the falling from paradise. Is it were the children apple picking with his family?
Vitamin B deficiency.
Yeah, exactly. Bill took his character and he layered so many layers into it, and I always say that the apples are open to your interpretation, and all of the above.
Very cool.
Okay, fair enough.
We just, we just wanted, this is a really kind of unique, I think, monster, but an empathetic monster, a sympathetic monster in what his actions are. But then he's also this man that has lost, and so an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Like there's so many different levels that an apple can represent, and so I think Bill was just really smart to layer that in and make that part of his character and have some fun with it. And
but
everyone always asks, what do the apples mean? What do the apples
Well,
mean?
you take one bite of an apple and you're deemed a sinner. Oh, man. So he has a blatant disregard for that. He's like, I'm going to eat 1,000 apples. What do you make in that?
Yeah. See, like you could go deep with the apples if you really wanted to,
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
Sorry, I have ADD.
No, it's
It's
okay.
all
It's
good.
okay.
All
It's
good.
okay because you know what? Our podcast is rated explicit, anyways.
Yeah,
So
on
it's
iTunes,
all good.
on iTunes, what do we tell you that it's parental content, parental advisory? So we made sure of that.
Explicit.
Love it.
Yeah, I figured we can't do a clean podcast without some fun and some swear words. So
yeah, we like to
Yeah.
dirty it up. So by all means, you guys are
I mean,
good.
there was one point where I thought we were gonna have a clean episode, but then somebody threw out the F-bomb, and then I'm just like,
I think that was me.
Oh, there
I
it
think
goes.
it was me. I think that was my bad.
That.
I'm like it's way. I was like, this is way too clean.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
kinda
dropped
like
the F-bomb.
Like, since we talk about everything horror, whether it's films, games, and whatever, like we play a game called Killing Floor with a couple buddies of ours.
Yeah,
and,
Killing Floor too.
And like we'll be on like a certain map, and we'll just be like, this beach is not bloody enough. We need to make it more bloody.
Or this room is too clean. It needs to be bloodied up. Or
yeah. So for So for anybody listening too, we play on PlayStation 4, so if anybody's down for that. So
we play on
feel
PS4
free to add us.
platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Red Queen. I'm Red Queen _85.
Oh, did you?
And then.
Well, I don't know if you just heard. I believe it was Ryan that just pronounced it, and or just said it. But Ryan listened to your Outlast podcast.
Oh, what did you think of that?
I listened to it. That was Dan. We sound very similar. We look nothing alike, but we sound similar. I thought it was fun, but the thing is, I haven't played a video game since Sega Genesis. I'm very disciplined. And I knew that if I played video games, I would not write. And so I try not to play video games. I just listened to the podcast, which was fun, and you guys seem to be having a lot of fun talking about the video games Outlast. Which
we thought it was
really...
Yeah, we thought it'd be really interesting if I did an all-ladies podcast for Outlast.
Yeah.
So that's I got a couple of our friends and myself, and Paul was sitting on the couch listening to us talk. He was just our listener, but
I was jotting down notes for her if she wasn't getting something. So I was just like, hey, nudging my girlfriend. I was just like, hey, you need to.
I did some pretty good research. Thank you very much. I researched that game pretty good, and Outlast 2.
Very cool. Just wait till Outlast 2 comes.
Have you played the Friday the 13th game?
I haven't gotten a chance to play it because it's not out yet, but we have tried the beta a little bit. But
that thing is like the mother where I'm like, God, I might have to break down and start playing video games.
Should I actually tell these guys how much I spent on that game?
Oh, for Kickstarter for it? Oh, yeah, by all means, do it. You're like the big Jason Voorhees fan, so you might as well let him in. All
right, I will let everybody know now, because this is the first time I'm letting the public actually know, but I backed Friday the 13th on Kickstarter, and I actually waited for the stretch goal to hit PS4 or consoles. And when it hit that's when all hell broke loose for me. My inner Jason came out, and I was just like, okay, they are offering a steel machete case signed by everybody, including Kane, one of the original Jasons.
Oh, wow.
And then, and that was $275 alone. But I ended up getting add-ons, which was like another $110. So in total, I spent $385 on Friday the 13th, the video game.
To back it on Kickstarter.
Well, thank you.
That's cool.
That thing might sway my mind.
Yeah, I will
have to do
definitely
it.
be posting a picture of that bad boy when I physically get it. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
So cool.
I agree.
Well,
But
speaking of games, Ditch Day actually has a game. It's not a video game, but the next fun thing that we love, it's a drinking game.
oh,
So that will be releasing in the next couple weeks, and the goal is to don't be another one of victims.
huh?
And it's kind of in the vein of, you know how you ever been to a Rocky Horror Picture Show, and there's that fun cult following, and there's the interactions and the lines and the actions, and so it's in that vein, but with a whole bunch of alcohol because it's Ditch Day party. What do you do at a Ditch Day party? Typically, you drink. So that will actually be up on our website in the next couple of weeks. And
Tell us about the hall passes, Megan Waters.
yes. The more lines you know in the film with your character, whatever character you pick to drink, you can, if you can say your lines in tandem, you can get out of doing shots because there's about 32 shots that you might have to do if you don't know your character's lines.
Oh
Oh,
God.
boy.
And, which I think would lead to extreme alcohol poisoning. So it is play at your own risk. We take no responsibility. But so if you're still standing at the end of the game, then we say let the Ditch Club, our Ditch
Yeah,
fans
it's just
and
like, we need you to
our
sign this waiver, that we're not responsible
Yeah.
for what happens to you.
Exactly. But
Speaking
we
of
do want to
drinking
see a
games.
picture of it after you play. And so if you're standing, take a selfie and post it to our Instagram, which is Ditch Day the Movie, and say that, you beat Vic. And if your friends have passed out beside you, take a picture of them and hashtag them as Vic Got Me. So it's just a fun.
Oh, that's an awesome idea.
It's fun.
I like that.
Yeah, and we really want to,
Now, what
have
website is
fun
this going to be
watching
on?
the film. It will be on thefilmditch.com, and we're just putting the final graphic design on the rules. And there's actually 2 levels of gameplay, so you can play it kind of on a just a basic level. I just want to kick it back, have a few drinks, and not too complicated. But if you want to play on the Ditch Day cult level, that's a whole other level in terms of actions and lines. And it's not just drinking. It's, can you survive the drinking, the punishments, and the shameless acts that have been asked of you. So, it's we stay in the vein of the film. It's if everyone's puking at the end of this, different colors, we'll be happy.
And
Rainbow party.
just heard that on our
Rainbow
podcast.
party.
So this is the first time we've actually shared about it. So this
Very
is
nice.
the world premiere of the Ditch Day drinking game. So
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for
yeah,
sharing
have
that.
fun with it.
Speaking
so
of,
Make sure everybody goes and supports this game. It's
Drinking
not a video
game.
game, but you still get
It's a drinking game.
your drunk on.
Yeah. So a fun Friday night or something any day, then this would be the fun game. And it's.
Is there a specific kind of alcohol?
It's whatever.
Fire water.
You do need, because there's an action. Every time you see an apple, you have to drink some apple cider beer. So you do need apple cider beer. Other than that, pick your poison and good luck.
We'll just go with hard cider beer then.
Purple Dragon.
Yeah.
Purple Dragon, did I just say? Here?
Yeah.
Purple Drink.
Oh, geez.
But, there's, the game has, some actions. There's times when you're called to punch the neighbor to the left of you, dole out the purple nurples. It's a crazy, we were talking about it the other day, and we were like, well, what do we call the game? Or what, and I'm like, it's a fun horror film with a fucked up drinking game is what it is.
Very nice.
There's no other way to describe it. So
No. I got a fucked up drinking game for you guys. I actually just showed it to my girlfriend
God.
a couple months ago.
And we played it.
And we played it.
And
too.
we survived it.
And we did survive it.
We are
But
troopers.
we didn't really have hard liquor, but we had a lot of beer. And let's just say
And we
that beer
consumed a lot.
Yeah, let's just say we were down to 8 beers left. But if you guys ever heard of You guys ever heard of the movie called Thanksgiving?
Thanks, killing.
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
Thanks killing.
If
I
not,
think I've heard of it. I haven't seen
okay.
it.
Then
There's
you
a
guys-
drinking game involved for this
then-
movie.
Yeah, you're
gonna want to drink when you see this movie, anyways.
Yeah.
Drinking game or not.
But,
Very cool.
but it's the second Thanksgiving movie, which they call it Thanksgiving 3, but they skip over Thanksgiving 2 because the movie is having turkey.
I'm just gonna put it to you this way. I definitely was saying, "What the fuck am I watching?" quite a bit during this movie. You pretty much have this turkey from outer space who's going around killing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a romantic comedy.
Oh, why don't you tell him one of your favorite lines from the movie?
Which one?
The-
Gobble gobble, motherfucker.
Oh,
you've been stuffed.
you just been stuffed.
Yeah, okay. So, since this is a aquatic podcast, we'll just go into this a little bit. So there's a kinky girl in this. Just like
Yeah, the
there's a
slut of
kinky,
the movie.
Yeah, the slut in the movie, where she trying to get it on with this one guy, and then at some point in time, Turkey comes in and slits the guy's throat, kills him, and then he gets on top of her.
From behind.
From behind.
Doggy style.
And then at one point, she kind of notices there's like something weird going on behind her, and she looks behind her, and it's Turkey, and he goes, "You just been stuffed," and it's just like, oh my god.
I definitely drank quite a bit during this scene. I was like, wow.
Oh yeah.
That sounds like a great first date. It really does.
Well, the turkey had to use a extra small gravy condom.
Gravy flavored condoms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
What a
right?
major
I know,
difference in my
right?
giblet.
OMG.
It's definitely one of those movies where it'll definitely make you go, what the fuck, quite a bit. And
Yeah.
within like the first like 10 seconds of the
minutes.
movie, 10 seconds of the movie, you see boobs.
Yeah.
So I should watch it with my 2-year-old.
No, you do not want to watch this with your children. This is not PG-13.
I mean, unless you allow
This
this.
is like rated R.
Whatever.
It's explicit and naughty
But yeah.
and
That
very
sounds not
strange.
even NC-17. That sounds triple X.
Yeah, it's pretty naughty.
Yeah. It's so freaking
Very
bizarre.
romantic.
Oh yeah, it's so romantic. But yeah, you guys get a chance, check that St. Killing out. I can post a link up to St. Killing when I put this episode up too as well. So let's go with the finale, with the final question for this episode. It is marketing the movie, which I'm assuming this is going to be Megan. This is going to be your question, but I noticed it's just digital on Amazon and there's no physical. I don't know if you guys are planning on physical copies or what was going on about that.
So we are working with a fun distributor, ITN Distribution, who saw the film and really thought that, hey, this is something that they want to get involved with. So when they elected to rep us and we did that deal, we had a lot of discussions about strategy and what was going to be the case. And when we're doing the digital release first, and as that grows, then there'll be potential for a Blu-ray release with a lot of extra content on it, just from what we have within the film. And so that's a to be determined. But when you look at what the market is, like from the business side of things, and where our fans are watching and how they're watching, it's all streaming, it's all downloading, and I think it's important that you respect how people want to watch the movies they love or the movies they have interest in. So, this is never going to be a theatrical release, because our fans, they're more into the streaming, more into the online, more into the digital content, and so that's where we're at. But I would love to see, and I'm sure the same with the boys, is to see kind of a hard case. Here's the DVD with the special features, because I love special features in any film, and you don't really get that now with digital downloads. But
yes
there's
and
just so
no.
much behind the story. Yeah, there's so much behind it.
Yeah.
So we're hopeful, and it's just taking seeing how the picture releases. We original world premiere was in Germany, and that's been doing well.
Wow.
And the German fans are loving it. And then we went over to Brazil and Korea, and UK is now checking it out. And then we had our domestic release within the US on end of January. And so it's just little, territory by territory, and we'd love to see a hard hard case
hard
DVD.
copy. Yeah.
So it's a hard copy, but it's just just where people are watching, how they're watching. So that's where it's at.
That makes sense. Yeah, 'cause I personally like holding the item in my hand and being like, oh, my precious, kind of like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. It would be cool too, because something tangible, and it would be, it was like when CDs were really awesome, and you had the insert, and you could like unfold it and see all the lyrics, and it's that kind of deal, and so it's a question of they have to, the business side of it, they have to decide if that's still a market that's worth it. So we're also, because we're not a rated film yet, so and when Dan, Ryan, and I and the gang got together to do this, we didn't want to make a PG-13 horror film, because I don't really believe that really makes a great horror film.
No.
And so
Hell no.
there's a question of the ratings. So, but yeah, I mean, if we could see it on the shelves of Walmart and see it in Redbox and have a hard copy of it, that'd be cool. We're down for that. It's just a matter of fans wanting it and asking for it. So ask for it.
Nice. Yes,
they need numbers. So push this, please, buy it.
Support these guys. It's an amazing film.
Right.
So do it.
It's so great.
Do it now, otherwise we come to your house with an axe.
And we'll break down your door with it.
I love you, Paul.
Chainsaw again, people.
I'll bring the weed whacker.
Yeah.
And the chainsaw.
I'm down. I'll bring whatever I got in my basement.
Crouch down like Smeagol.
That terrifies me.
I actually have back in this is gonna sound weird, but back in MySpace days, if you guys remember those days, but
Top 8.
I actually had a very dark profile on there, and I used to get random messages all the time saying, "Dude, your profile just scared me," and I'm just like, "Thank you, I'm doing my job then, so thank you." But it's just funny. It's just anybody can kind of tell you I'm more of a horror guy than anything else, because I just love my horror. And if it's not horror, then you just get it away from me. So yeah.
Come on, no Disney movies for you?
Actually, we like Disney movies as well, but we do have a pretty extensive horror collection.
Yeah.
You should see Dan. Dan, how many DVDs do you have now?
About 2,500.
They like line his walls. It's crazy.
I have about 1,700 horror movies.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think we have that many horror movies.
I think he's got us beat in that department.
Yeah, he's got us beat for sure.
Yeah.
But we're working on.
Yeah.
But we're also in an apartment, and we only have so much space.
Yeah, that's true.
This is true.
It's
Well,
Dan's wallpaper.
I have to hide this stuff from my kid now, because he found Demon Knight Part 2. And he looked at the little cover, and he started making this voice. I thought he was possessed for a minute. I think my dad started saying prayers. And so now I'm in the process of hiding all the DVDs everywhere.
Oh no.
Which doesn't work, because 2-year-olds just find everything.
Well, wait till he's about 5 and then introduce them to horror.
Fair enough.
He loves. He's like his favorite movie is Terminator.
Oh, that's awesome.
Guy, he loves it. Which is, in my opinion, that is a slasher movie. The first one.
Yeah.
I agree. I love it.
I know I said this in our other podcast, our episode, For the Love of Horror, when we had our friend interview me and Tessa to get to know us more. But I want to recall that my first ever movie seen, like when I'm maybe 6 or 7, was Bram Stoker's Dracula, and that was me like being that naughty kid too, like pretending I'm asleep, but then like I quietly walk down the stairs and then I peek in the living room and be like, oh shit, like maybe I shouldn't be seeing this, but I'm still watching it anyway.
Yeah, mine was Child's
Story
Play.
of Brian and I's life.
Yeah,
That's
mine was
amazing.
Child's Play when I was little. I was about 7 years old and I saw Child's Play.
Oh yeah,
I
love that.
my
I had to
first
hide
horror
the
was
Chucky
It.
doll. My kid is terrified of the Chucky doll.
Don't
Well,
you
there's
want
a
to
new
dress him up
Chucky.
like a Chucky doll?
I did, but I got shot down on that one too.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Well, just to make your
For
hopes
me.
a little bit better, there is a new Chucky movie coming out this year in October.
The Cult of Chucky.
Yes.
It's called.
Yeah.
Yep. October
looking forward to
20th
it.
is what they're looking at. So.
I'm so pissed off that the Friday the 13th, which is supposed to be filming right now, was just canceled, and it was supposed to come out on your birthday.
Yep.
Yep.
They had a right.
He was furious.
I'm gonna make you more pissed off.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I hope you're sitting for this.
Yeah, I hope you're sitting for this one. So there's an article.
Halloween off too?
No.
No.
Going back to Jason for a minute.
Going back to Jason, but I will get to Halloween in a minute, but because that is another interesting thing. But anyway, so for Jason fans that are listening and you, the next time they're
planning on filming.
Filming a Friday the 13th film is not until 2019.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, that's shameful.
Yep.
That's 10 years since the last one.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So that's probably when the rights run out with somebody. That sucks.
Sounds like it.
Well, that's what
named
happens
Jason.
when you try to make a movie that nobody wants, which was Rings, because they blame Rings for the canon of.
I read that the Rings tanked, and they thought that the same would happen to Friday the 13th, which has one of the most loyal fan bases of any movie in general ever, which is stupid.
Which is okay because at least we got our Alien coming out, because God forbid if I don't mention Alien in a
Oh gosh, speaking of the precious.
Yeah, speaking of my precious. Oh God. We got one more month for that bad boy. But no, but back to Halloween. So next year we got John Carpenter's Halloween. Comes out sometime in
Danny
October.
McBride is writing it.
Yes. And now here's another thing that kind of threw me off, but apparently, I don't know if this is 100% accurate or what, but we're supposed to be having another Halloween film this year called like the
Resurrection.
No,
Not Resurrection.
No,
I know what you're talking. I saw that on IMDb.
It's like the end of evil, or I don't know. It's a stupid title in my own opinion. I kind of saw it and I'm just like, what? Like, how come I haven't even heard that there's this new Halloween coming out this year? And this, I don't know, this title doesn't really sound right to me. I don't know.
It didn't. I tried to do some research too, and I didn't see anything worthy of it. So I don't know if that's what the hell that was.
I don't know. The only way I found it was from imdb.com. That was the only way I found it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be worth anything. But yeah, I guess that's really it. Unless you guys have anything else to add. I mean,
I do.
Okay, go for it.
If you're in South Carolina and you're attending the Crimson Screen Film Festival, which is a huge horror film festival, my screenplay TED score is a finalist, so hopefully I will win. That would be cool. But just to be a finalist in that film festival is awesome. That's all. And buy my movie Ditch. It's awesome.
Yes.
Watch it.
Yes. Buy the damn movie and watch it.
And I will have to watch that movie later, Lake Dead?
Lake Dead, yes.
Yeah, we will have to watch that later.
It's a good one.
I would appreciate it. And you guys are both awesome, and thank you so much for having us on. I love talking horror, and especially with
you guys.
Well, we will have
to join us anytime.
Yeah, we will have to have you guys on again for Lake Dead and some other podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
anytime, any day, that would be so sweet.
Yeah, we live and breathe horror, so I mean.
Yeah, and we also have.
As do I.
We also have 7 seasons planned out already. For our podcast.
Oh, very, very cool. Yes, I'm a fan.
Cool.
And we've even got some that are like holiday related that we'll be talking around like holiday time. Like
So once again, if you guys are more than welcome to
join us.
Join us if you guys happen to wanna, if you guys would like to add us on our personal Facebook to keep in touch, that's cool with me. I
Yeah.
mean,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah, all right. Well, I sent you a message, Megan, already, and I sent one to Dan.
Mhm.
Ryan, I don't know if you have one, so you're more than welcome to add me and Tessa. You can follow us on Instagram too. It's not, we're on there too.
Yep, I'm following you on Podbean. That was my
I
start, but yeah, we'll
Yep.
stay connected. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I definitely would love to talk about Like Dead because I really enjoyed that film as well. And
Thanks, I
That's a great
appreciate
one.
that.
speaking of which, Dan, was that your first or second film? Because I was kind of
That
like,
was my first.
that was your first. Because you did have
Yeah,
a
the
short.
second was Farmhouse.
I haven't been
Diary of
able
a
to see
Psychopath.
Farmhouse yet, but unfortunately, but I am planning on trying to find a damn copy of that somewhere. But I did notice one called, I think it was called Diary of a Psychopath, right?
Yes. Yes. There's a feature of that too. It's not completed yet.
Oh, okay.
It was released by Crypt TV, which is owned by Eli Roth,
I love
as
Crypt
a
TV.
like a 10-minute 10-minute short. So if you go to Crypt TV, you can usually find it. Otherwise, it's you can find it at forgeapollo.com.
Okay. And there you go, guys, and people listening.
And if you want to, and now that you've heard from our fun writers, you can check out Ditch on Amazon Prime. For those, it's a free download, and if you just have Amazon, then you can rent it. And it's in the U.S. It's titled Ditch Day.
And we have an awesome website too.
Yes, filmditch.com. So check us out and connect
Follow
with
us
us
on
on Instagram and
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, that's another question. Can you guys clarify this? I noticed Ditch Day and then there's Ditch Day Massacre. Is it like, so which, is it both or is it like?
So it is both. So in the U.S. release, it is Ditch Day. That's how the distributor chose to release it.
Okay.
And in the UK, Brazil, and Korea, it is Ditch Day Massacre.
Okay.
So it was from a marketing standpoint that they chose to drop the massacre for the U.S. market. So it's just
Awesome.
Ditch Day.
Okay.
I think, Dan, when you originally wrote it, was it Ditch Day Party? What was the first title you had?
Originally, it was just titled "Go Fuck Yourself."
That's a great name.
But
I love it already.
It's very eye-catching.
No, yeah. What, Ryan? It was Ditch
Catchy
Party
title.
Massacre, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ditch Party Massacre.
Ditch Party Massacre,
And then
we were
just
like,
just Ditch.
Yeah, and then it was Ditch. It's had a lot of, marketing a film and getting it out there, and all those things. There was I think there's a little bit of a sensitivity to the word massacre in the U.S. right now. I know that in Germany that they still kept the title Massacre, but they had to re-edit the film to take some of the horror out and violence because of their codes. So I take that as a compliment.
Well, Australia just actually had to, they actually banned, going back to video games for a second, but they actually banned Outlast 2 from Australia because it was too sexual violence type stuff.
Too much sexual violence,
No,
too much gore,
I
too
thought
much
they loved
blood.
their horror.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It was
And-
too much.
And then
Your favorite scene, Tessa, was edited out of the German version, just so you know.
What?
Yes, that
What?
made me,
Yeah.
I died.
Oh, that is uncalled for. That is bullshit.
Yeah.
Amen, sister.
So,
how dare they?
hey, not to worry. The American version has everything.
Yes.
So we can take it. We can hack it. We got the stomach for it.
So for people overseas, what you need to do is get yourself a U.S. copy. Wink, wink. Yeah. So anybody else have anything to add real quick before we call it?
I have to go to the
say
bathroom.
thank you.
Well, on that note, I think we've all exhausted ourselves from this.
One or two.
Yes. Paul, Tess, you guys are both freaking awesome.
Well, you guys are awesome as well.
You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Yeah, because, I mean...
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you are very welcome. Thank you, guys. And it was like, me and Tessa went, I actually talked to Tessa first, and I was just like, I don't know, what do you think? Should we message Ditch Day and throw a swing at a episode for one day? And then we kind of got to the talk about, well, maybe we could do this as a season premiere, which would be awesome and rad. So you guys are going to be the season premiere of season 2 for our podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're
an honor.
Well, it is an honor because we made sure that you guys were the first ones, even though we had ideas come up. But we're just like, nope, we're gonna wait.
Yeah, we decided on definitely going with you guys for our season 2 premiere.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. We're humbled. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't know that beforehand because then I would have felt a whole bunch of pressure.
Yeah, I feel like it's
we just wanted you guys to, come into this natural and everything, no added pressure,
Yeah.
Just be yourselves, because that's what we do.
Yeah, and what I do too, because we actually.
I'm usually asked to leave when I act like myself.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
dude.
no, it's celebrated here.
Leave, you need to call me up and tell me who this person is, and I'll come confront him with you.
Yeah, bring the axe.
I will bring that axe. I will bring the axe.
Bring the fireman axe.
Oh, you have the axe.
Dan actually has it.
Oh,
yeah, Josh and Sarah.
That is amazing.
I think there was 3 or 4 of them, but they let me have one as my token or their token of whatever.
Very nice.
They're an awesome couple, and dude, their work is freaking amazing. If you check out their IMDb page, their credits, you'll be like, holy shit, these guys have done some pretty awesome stuff.
Who, the studio or company?
It's Josh and Sarah Russell, and then they were on that TV show. What is it called? The reality TV show about the horror effects makeup.
Oh.
Why can't I think of the name of it? Face Off.
Oh, Face Off.
Oh, that's also a very good show.
Yes. Yeah, they were on that. They're just super talented. I think they worked on Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Oh, God.
And they've done like tons of other smaller horror movies that you have heard of.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. To be honest, I don't look at Rob Zombie's Halloween films.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Paul.
Oh my God.
There's mixed opinions.
Yeah.
He's a sick and twisted person, and I've seen all of his movies. Did you check out 31?
I have not.
No,
yet.
we haven't seen it yet.
And would you recommend it or what?
I do. I actually do recommend it. It's very, very disgusting.
Very
a little
awesome.
different than you would expect.
Well, that's interesting.
But yeah, it depends on. I mean, even it just takes everything that would disturb and upset you and just rapes it.
Interesting. But yeah.
So I mean, if you're a sick fuck and you like Rob Zombie, you'll like the movie.
Well,
it's definitely got a pinpoint audience.
Very nice.
I like it better
Happy
than
Easter.
Salem. Lords of Salem.
We actually have that. We just haven't watched Lords of Salem yet. But what was I gonna say real quick? House of a Thousand Corpses just turned 14 years old the other day.
And that movie is freaking awesome. Love it. And
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Dr. Satan.
Dude.
Yeah, I like Devil's
I
Rejects.
would have been, if the Academy Awards, I would have picked Devil's Rejects to win Best Picture that year.
Agreed.
Just saying.
Right? But,
Captain Spaulding.
Oh, God. There was actually a married couple that had the guy playing Captain Spaulding to dress up as Captain Spaulding to do the wedding for them. Or the,
Really? Sid Haig.
Yeah, there's like a article about it somewhere on the internet. You could probably find it. But yeah, on that note,
if I get remarried, I'm gonna hire Pee Wee Herman.
Oh boy.
Make sure he brings his white shoes.
Oh God.
Yeah, white shoes and a bottle of Lubriderm.
Oh, jeez,
amazing. But all right, guys. Once again,
It's been fun.
it was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and
Thank
I
you.
hope the voices in your head have been quiet enough to do this too.
Thank you, Megan, Ryan, and Dan for
Yeah.
joining us.
Thank you,
And
Megan and
Thank you
Ryan.
so
You
much
guys
for
are
having us.
awesome. Thank you
Yes.
for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again.
Travel.
You're hard as shit. You're a pal and a confidant.
Just remember,
So
we
hard
got
to
your,
come
we
by.
got your back.
All right, I'm gonna go back to St. Olaf now.
All right.
All right, go for it. All right, take care, everyone.
Take care.
Take
All
care.
right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.